Howdys and salutations, y'all. Let me put that away real quick. So, I know this isn't what the plans were, but honestly, I am feeling a little under the weather, and I am not super up for the full-on art that I think we'd normally want to do. Don't worry, we'll pick that right back up next week. Monday, same time, same place. Have some fun with that. But for now, I need something low-key that I can just sort of rest and do and not have to think about too much. And in my mind, for some reason, the obvious choice for that was Elden Ring, which is clearly not the right choice, but, you know, might be fun. So if you give me just a second, I've got a handful more things I need to set up, so I'm going to pop us to the pause screen for just a moment here, and then we're going to get started. Okay, now let's actually jump in here for real this time. Now, I will say, I am not quite easily able to access my normal screen to control the stream while the game is open, and I have not figured out how to enter windowed mode yet. Whoa, Twitch may not like that one, although I'm sure it's fine, really. Actually, yeah, let's see if we can do system. Also, for the first time ever when I popped this open, Easy Anti-Cheat decided that I'd been up to some dubious activity, which I have no idea what that would be, genuinely. Like, I don't even mod this. I literally just didn't play it for like a month, and then now it's decided that I can't play online. So that's a thing. Yeah, I don't know what that means. Maybe I need to log in or something. I don't know. Anyway, let's, instead of messing with that, let's see if we can't get this into order this window. And now my mouse is free. Huzzah! Which means I can control the stream, but then I can also, well, okay, no, now the controller needs to, oh, okay. Wait, that was the wrong button. Uh-oh, potential spoilers, probably not. I doubt I logged off in a forward ahead place. But I did mean to start a fresh character, so instead it looks like we're getting a sneak preview of wherever the heck I left. Oh, right, okay, Olivine. An OC for another day. I won't even spoil the map. I don't want to do that. But suffice it to say, despite the fact that I'm here, I've not beaten the game, but I'm slightly further ahead than this appears. So I know it says that I'm learning to play, because that's sort of our thing. We're never actually masters of any of this stuff. We're all here learning. And that is still partially true. I mean, I'm far from a master of this game, but I have played through Dark Souls 1 and 3 to the end. Dark Souls 2 part of the way before I got fed up with the movement controls. Not an inherently bad game. The ideas aren't inherently terrible. I play these mostly for the world, and Dark Souls 2's was kind of bland. Not in terms of ideas, but in terms of execution. Still don't know what to think about that. That's disappointing. Cool. Anyway. I'll have to figure out if there's anything I can do about that, or what the heck it even means. But let's actually, instead of worrying about that, because that's not what I need today. I'm already under the weather. It may be obvious, but this energy I've got is probably not going to hold up super great the whole stream. We'll see if we make it to 2 hours. I promise nothing today. Barely even keep a coherent thought for 2 seconds. Let me throw it to do Elden Ring anti-cheat question mark. Cool. Got that in my to-dos. We'll come back to it some other time when I'm not live. By the way, I hope you can like hear both me and the game audio. Feel free to shout at me if they ever get like terribly out of whack. Okay. So let's see what we're dealing with in terms of options. Okay. So Vagabond, let's look at attributes. As cool as they look, I do care about the stats a little bit. I mean, this one starts with a halberd, and I stinking loved halberds. But it is also the one I started with on my main playthrough, because, well, you can probably put 2 and 2 together. So I think we're just going to be holding off on that a little bit. Let's see on this one. Warrior, what's this one focused on? Dex and In. That's an interesting combo. I've never been one for Dex builds, necessarily. Not that they're bad, mind. They're just not... Pardon. See what I mean? Like, I'm gonna pass out here any minute. But we're doing it live anyway. Like, Dex builds are cool. I respect the people who play them. Well, I respect anyone who's not being a jerk about how they play. But that's most people. Just not invaders some of the time. Anywho. But yeah, Dex builds, meh for my personal playstyle. Strength build, also not something I'm super familiar with. Oh, well, range is always nice. And low level means more room to customize and grow. Plus, that's not a bad starting dex, and some of those other stats are not terrible either. Oh, that vigor stings. But magic, though. I've never done a miracle build in any of the games. I'm actually somewhat tempted. I know, like, everyone wants to do one of... Well, I forgot Confessor was the thing in this game. Prisoner's fun one because funny haha mask and also decent intelligence and stats and such. Samurai is a fun one because good stats, fun play. People like the katanas, maybe too much. And then what is Confessor? Oh, I guess it's sort of like... Okay, Faith 16, Faith 14. I guess it's not quite as min-maxed of a like Faith build, like you've still got some other stuff to work with. That might actually be what we're looking for here, really. Not that I want to become overly reliant on my weapon, but I'd like to have a backup. And then, of course, the basic. Okay, so let's do this. Let's have a go at a Confessor. Should be interesting. Oh, right, a name. Oh, the name. Oh. Well. I mean, I'm open to suggestions from chat. We can always come back to this one. We'll just do like... I'm sure it's not going to accept that. Why did it accept that? Elden Ring, why did you accept that? Anyway. Body type. Buff or slender, is that categorization, I guess? Sure. This one. Age. I see they put in all the quotes. This is probably what I should fall into, and we'll do that. That's fine. Oh, I guess we can swap them here. Search spy adept with covert ops, equally adept with the sword as they are with their incantation. Okay, let's actually look at the descriptions here. I've never read these, because Elden Ring is so massive that I still haven't finished the game. It's been out for months. I've played like over 100 and something hours. Not even close. Exiled Knight. Actually, not as Pardon me again, I apologize for that. Not as ominous of a, like, not as shameful as it may imply, given how some of these kingdoms go. Origin of an exceptional technique. That feels like an odd translation. Origin? From an origin? Huh, okay, interesting. Stalwart hero, at home with a battle axe descended from a Badlands chieftain. I love how this one is like just basically one of the NPCs in the game. Like, I guess you could be your brother or sister or what have you. Interesting. And it good with archery and stuff. I do like me some range stuff. Heir to the school of glintstone sorcery. That actually would have interesting lore implications should one go for a certain ending. I'm trying not to spoil here, but like honestly, well, I don't know. I don't know that everyone's played it, and I ain't beat it yet, so we'll be chill about that. We ain't gonna spoil anything. There's nothing that matters. Nothing too late in the game. Or, well, I can't spoil the end of the game because I haven't even gotten there yet. Well, I guess I do know some of it. Inauspicious prophecies. Well, now if that ain't the story of like half of the. Oh boy. They're like, no, I want you to be a good luck charm. If you are not my good luck charm, you are banished. Poor guy's just like, I mean, Land of Reeds. Let's see. You're intriguing, a noble turned prisoner, or someone in that circle. Perhaps of Caria Manor. Church spy. Which church? I guess it'd be that one. Okay. At least it's a nice club. They could have given him a bad club. That's nice. Okay, we got ourselves a keepsake. Medallion inlaid with crimson amber. Never hurts to have more HP, but I suspect that gets outclassed. Used to gain many runes. Ooh, a golden seed. That actually might be the best option here. Although there's a few of these that are good actually. Now that I'm looking at it, interesting. Could be handy to have ashes, especially early on, and especially since the game has decided that I'm not allowed to play. Pots that mend themselves. Container for certain thrown items. Let's see, Stone's Word. I realize now, like after 50 hours of playing is when I figured this out, that is in fact Stone Sword Key. And if you look at the item, it is stinking obvious. I thought it was Stone's Word. Like the word of the stones, or oriented towards the stones. Like we head northward, we head Stone's Word. Well, so much for that. Really? From Mikola. Yeah, I do hope we learn more about them. Good old Shabriri. Horrible, horrible, I hate him. I hate him, I hate his ending, I want nothing to do with them. Okay, I am actually slightly torn on this. Although, we can get to some fairly easily if need. Okay, let's do the Golden Seed. I think more healing early is more valuable, honestly. These... Yeah, this is what I'm picking. Face. The face. Okay. Figure out a template. Oh, right, and we never figured out what this character is or what their name is. Let's see. Well, the Ancient Dragons. Nightfolk. Ooh, I actually know what these things are now. Interesting. Seldom born denizens of another world. How about we go with the night folk? Let's see. Face is still ominous. Sure, let's get a detailed appearance. Voices? How can I test them? Sample. Crikey, the screams in this. They go so over the top on some of this. That sounds like Link falling off a cliff. I kinda want to get it just for that. Yeah, okay, sorry, Link wins. Okay, let's zoom up on face. Well, that's both ominous and feels slightly like it belongs on a quarter. Oh, the level of detail on these. Do we hit random? Is that a button we can hit? Or should I just throw some stats wild and then we go from there? Kinda like big nose. Face looks really tiny like this, but sure. Not helping the tiny face issue. I have no idea what I'm doing. There's so many options on these. They all end up looking so ominous. I don't want them to look like a basilisk, though. And unfortunately, I would do Sifimir, of course, because as I mentioned, the past Sifimir is based on an old D&D character. But Sifimir also didn't have the best, like, when I was designing the character sheet, I didn't go into the details about the nose ridge tip height, you know? Somehow that just slipped my mind. No, we must keep these changes. They're permanent now. Where do we move the nose? Oh, no. Man, can't make anything real in this game. I mean, you can, but who has the time? Are we gonna just nose slant? What's that do? Is that the bottom or the top? Oh, sure, nostril width. That's a detail we need. Why? Why are these options? They look like just a skeleton. Oh, heavens to Betsy. Oh, we can probably change the expression. Wait, this is near max happy? Oh, that just looks terse. Which admittedly is a reasonable approach to lands between. Let's try to have a little optimism. Sure, we'll just leave that one where it was, whatever. Any face? Any face. Ah! Too big. I should learn not to use this metric because every side looks wrong. Leaving those alone, whatever. Sure, forehead bridge protrusion 1. Can't even tell from the hair. Bridge protrusion. Oh, that one actually matters on the nose. Sure. This is stinking bizarre. Sure, that looks like an ominously knowing smile. We can work with that. Sure. Oh my word. Who needs this many details? many eyebrow options. Go for max bushy. We could go for something a little thinner. Not like it's even visible under. Maybe we need to change the hairstyle first. Oh, that would make sense actually. Let's look at our hair options. For our it looked like these are so crazy. It looks like what does this one of the face, and I'm sure there's a reason in lore, it does make sense in lore, that it looks sort of like a certain one of the groups that exists on in the world. Very specific phrasing there, I know. But I also look a little bit like the swamp men. Isn't great. That's a hairstyle. 12 is it? Oh, yep, of course, there's that one. Perfect monk. That word girl? That's probably unfair to word girl. With great apologies to word girl. I think this is the one we started with because it's got the braid along the top there, yeah. For this one, okay, and then we're back. I'm actually kind of partial to 12. It looks ridiculous and covers your entire face and is such a bad choice for the world that we're in. Because you've got to have peripheral vision. My dude. Or last, or what have you. Okay, trying to think logically here. Can I make flame blue hair? Yes, I can. 167.92. Oh, oops. Nope. Up this one to 92. No. This no. 167. That is pretty good. Blue on silver is doing some interesting things there. Sure. Luster. Maybe let's chill on the reflectivity a little bit. Matte hair. Sure, root darkness. Darker roots, lighter roots. Leave it at a little. Oh no. No deal. I love how it doesn't really create more of them, it just brightens them sort of on every hair. Here we can add a little bit in there. A little texture. Well, now I can tell you with confidence that the eyebrows do not matter. Let's go with this one. Sure. Facial hair. Beard options. Oh my word. As a heads up, as with all Souls-like games, there is a non-zero chance we will not reach gameplay today. Anyone who's seen any of these knows that, oh my word. Wait, you could make Brian David Gilbert. I'm not. I won't. I can't. That's too much power to put in my hands. And this almost looks like an Arthurian, dignified figure now. We can't have that. Man, if the minus the blue hair, I could totally see this in some drawn. Well, and the. Look, it's a tad ominous, I'll admit. It looks cool though. Oh, wait. Yeah, sure. We want this double. I don't think it matters so much on this one. Eyelashes. Can we make them as obnoxious? Let's just make them the same color as everything else. Ooh, this is where things get fun. I guess all that really matters is the right eye. Which, well, I kind of like the ice, this sort of ice blue to contrast with the darker blue. I do kind of want to make it pop a little more, I think. Faster one. Yeah, it's that. Yeah, that one. With some hot pink clouding, if that makes any sort of sense. I love how the default is, you know, a little. Here, we need clear vision out the one eye we've got. Wait. Oh! You can move them around? Never quite looks the camera. Okay, I'm not messing with that one. Now what we could do is we could give them a different eye that we never see. Let's see. Let's see. Is there more to it than that? No, there's just this eye as well. Okay. Left iris color, we can make, like, I don't know, bright orange or something. That's always fun. Or wait. Oh wait, no, left is the one we can actually see. Ah, rats. Okay, we'll leave it as is then. Although I guess if I just switch these around. So that it's not dependent on the right eye anymore. That could, then we can mess with them freely. Wait, I'm not messing with the eye white color. Apparently I am. Oh, did I mean the pupil or did I? Oh, wait. Oh. Oh, that's what they were doing. Okay, sort of in a void. Okay, we'll leave them both like that. So the right eye, however, let's go with like orange. Just really mess with it. Like, a little more clouded. That's just gonna make a peachy color, isn't it? Ah, whatever. We can add skin, well, we can reduce skin luster. Make them slightly less shiny. Which actually, I'm kind of inclined to make them a little more matte. Make them look very tired. Or at least slightly more tired, because that's how I'm feeling today, and so I must share the tiredness with everyone. Let's see. Then... Oh, interesting. Oh, I need to click back into the game, don't I? Aha, whoopsie doodle. We can make it more or less dark, but then we can also change the color to be something insane. And now we look like a clown man. Oh, there's some... I feel like there's some unused potential. Like, I've seen a lot of bad character designs and stuff on this, but, like, there is some potential here, and it is awful. Anyway, let's trim down on that a little bit. Cosmetics. So many options, such riches aplenty. I'm leaving that one alone. But I want the tattoo mark, because they're so stinking wild sometimes. That's an interesting option. I remember when I first looked at this, I was like, I wonder if I'll learn the significance of any of these for the game. And while I don't know them all, some of these are very, very, very interesting. I need to move it. Position vertical needs to go way down for like all of these. Okay, maybe not that much down. Let's see, if I've declared myself a cleric of sorts, then I think let's go with this. Let's make it the requisite color. Somewhere between these two is probably wise. Pops. And then of course maybe not right there. Try the old tattoo it over someone's eye motif. That's always fun. Sure, it's far from the first person to do this. Make it a little bit. Okay. Oh, we can get an eye patch. This feels like an unwise decision, but this actually feels kind of cool. Maybe we can take it off later or something? I don't know. Now, do I want to make the design terrible or don't? Yeah, fine, I'll leave it like this. I don't want similar face. Oh, right, the rest of them. You know what? Maybe on the facial hair we don't. Looked Arthurian before, but I think let's go for something ridiculously dumb instead. I don't know. Alter body. Is there a random option? Or we can make a buff, whatever. Sure, I don't care. Wait, we can make the head a little bigger, I suppose. It started here, which does feel too small. We can do this, which we can make the neck shorter. There's probably a metric somewhere. We can give them abs. Nope, not what I thought that would do. Whatever. These arms, maybe? I don't care. No. Voices are set. Okay. And as per usual, none of that's remotely visible. And let's... wait, we need to actually name this character. I don't see any suggestions in chat. I don't know if anyone's viewing or not. That's A-okay. What should we name this brand new character for a brand new quest? I can always go to my old Dungeons & Dragons name generator. I keep a document that is specifically Dungeons & Dragons. Oh, we even lost some of the bot viewers? Now that's just kind of sad. That's fine. It's a slow day. I'm down with that. But let's crack open the old directory of names. Please feel free to steal these for whatever you need. They're terrible. No one will want them. That's why I fill my world with NPCs with these names. As a dungeon master, no one can stop me. Not really feeling Sal Valconi. Dinia. Denver. Dendro. Arculia. I mean, they are a Arculia type of character. Okay. Most of these are nonsense. We've got like Siret and Xandru and Squinny and Dago, and then there's just a name in here that's like Jim Millhart. Just Jim Millhart. Please report to the front of the grocery store. Your store has been your car has been stolen. Your store has been Karin. There we go. No, let's see. Tandeth, Blood, the Ark. I'm not reading all of these, by the way. I'm just picking out random ones. Wait, aren't hyloids like a thing? No, that's gyroid. I stopped playing Animal Crossing before they added all those creepy little dancing dudes. So I don't know. We could go with Sochi. This could be Sochi. Or Tilly, short for Tillabeth. Or 662395. Why is that in my name list? Ansel, like Ansel and Edel. Okay. Ooh, or Starf. You know, I am kinda feeling Starf. I should probably be in the right window, because I just searched for a user in Twitch named Starf. No. No such person exists. Or perhaps they do. Starf? Let's see. Stutchins. Okay, Starf. You come from a long line of Stutchinses. Noble lineage, long protectors of this realm. You know, truth be told, I'm kind of feeling the facial hair again. Beard? Facial hair. Beard. It was 12, right? Yeah, and I'm feeling like maybe the eye patch is too much. Someday I will make a character that wears an eye patch. This doesn't feel like the right one. Oh, maybe it does though. Maybe I just need a lower key color. Maybe we match it with the hair color? Fair enough, fair enough. I feel like I shouldn't save this to favorites. No! No! Oh, thank heavens. Maybe I should save it to favorites. Sure. Okay, let's finish before we destroy Stark by accident. That would have been 30 minutes down the drain. That would have been right silly of me to do. Okay, Elden Ring, what have we got?
The fallen leaves tell a story. The great Elden Ring was shattered. In our home, across the fog, the lands between. Now, Queen Marika the Eternal is nowhere to be found.
Having a rough day there?
And in the night of the Black Knives, Godwyn the Golden
interesting. They
was
have the
first
mark of
to
death
perish.
there. Or at least what's left of it.
Soon, Marika's offspring, demigods all, claimed the shards of the Elden Ring.
Oh, that, I just realized what's happening in that image. Interesting.
The mad taint of their newfound strength triggered the shattering.
Oh, this makes rather more sense now, too. I must say, their interest in Amatic is so thoroughly
A
opaque.
war
On first viewing, I
from
had
which
the
no
faintest idea what was
lord
happening.
arose.
Or, faint idea, but more wrong than right. I must say.
A war
Well done.
leading to abandonment by the greater will. Oh, rise now, ye tarnished, ye dead who yet live. The call of long-lost grace speaks to us all. Horalu, chieftain of the Badlands, the ever-brilliant gold mask. Fear, the deathbed companion. The loathsome dung-eater. And Sir Gideon Othmere, the all-knowing.
Awful lot of ears to bury someone with. I realize it's symbolic, but like, is that actually helpful? Like, they expect him to wake up at some point. Do you really think that he's gonna be like, ah, yes, thank you for burying me under a pile of ears?
Whom grace would
What a
again
comfortable,
bless.
comfortable return.
A tarnished of no renown. Cross the fog to the lands between. To stand before the Elden Ring. And become the Elden Lord.
The ring. One ring to hold them all. Okay, give me a second to get used to controls again. It has truthfully been a while since I played. And since the game has shunted me to offline mode, I don't even get the fun bloodstains that everyone piles up here. What a really sets the tone. The first item you get is like a finger. Let's see what we've got. I have this. I ain't got a miracle or squat, so that's a bad sign. My shield is 100%. Okay, that's not a bad shield. Ah, I've got to remember which menu I'm in. Nope. Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you. I guess. Weapons? Oh, wait. Oh! Those could actually both be quite useful. Here we go. Wide range, easy to connect with foes. Interesting. I'll use that one. Gotta get to a site of grace before I can do these. Okay. You know, for a broadsword, pretty quick. Y'all ready to see the gamer skills that definitely do not pay the gamer bills? Because they super don't. Or should they? Because there is not a chance in the world that I'm going to beat the first boss. I know it. I've fought it. Gotta say though. Fitting name. Gorgeous view. Oh right, of course. Gotta see our lovely face. I just realized I made Seteth with blue hair. Dagnabbit. Fair enough, fair enough. Try jumping, they say. It's all fun, they say. I love that even here you can already tell some of the architectural stylings. Like if you start to get to know the world, it's like I could immediately place where, like which group this is with, where it is, and of course I know that location as well. But like just the little details, the big details, they all add up to create something great. Is that a voice or was that a hint about camera controls? Yeah, I think I figured them out. Heck of a view though. Snap ourselves a screenshot of that. It's hard to not look dramatic in this game. Granted, very possible. I remember on my first time here, like on release day or close to it, I don't actually remember. I think it was release day. Like there were like 1,000 comments here. Bridge? Bridge? Did not expect bridge. Watch out, there's a bridge. And then like here, they're like, beware of bridge. I'm like, okay, I get it. It bridge. It's bridgy. Very good. Much wow. Ah, yes. The endless white void. In a different game, this could look cozy. A game like Super Mario Odyssey, perhaps, in one of their bonus levels. Here, it's horrendously ominous, and I just realized you can totally see very interesting things from here. Hello? Hello? I know what that is. I can't even get there in my normal playthrough yet. Means that that is Relicaria. I was not expecting to see Relicaria here. Lovely view as well. Wish I had my binoculars. They're like the first thing I buy in the games because there's so many cinematic moments. I wish to capture them all. Advice for everyone, by the way. Look before you jump. Note, I did not follow this advice. Hey, hey! Where you come from, by the way? Did you just summon in? Hey, friend! I don't have enough stamina for this fight. Oh, I hate the face I see under there. Hello. Oh, I hate this guy. Oh, I don't heal. That's right. Cool, even trading. Bad plan in this game. Okay, that's why I keep the shield up. You would think I learned that jumping attacks do not in fact work. Hey dude, shall we go for a dramatic end? Want to push me off the map? Ooh, hey, you're down for this? Okay. Oh, you're super down for this. Let's do it. Come on, charge him. Just run right off the edge. It's fine. It's fine. You'll be fine. Wow, I think he killed me as I fell off. I'll take it. It works cinematically. And it also works. I know there's decent rewards for beating that guy, but like they're not ones that I want to use on this playthrough, so I'm gonna leave them be. And of course, this is the traditional Souls-like beginning, where you die. Like immediately. You wake up in a graveyard and then you die. Trying to think, I guess Dark Souls 3 didn't do it. Maybe Dark Souls 2 didn't either. But Demon Souls, Dark Souls 1, well, I guess that boss doesn't technically kill you, but you're still not supposed to beat it. Bloodborne, of course, this example. Sekiro, of course. They like putting a boss fight you're supposed to lose.
Don't worry, Torrent.
Oh, hello.
Fortune is on her side. We found her here after all.
Greetings and salutations, Melina.
One of her kind is sure to seek the Elden Ring.
Hey, the camera's out of focus, cameraman. Oh, that's fine.
Even if it does violate the Golden Order.
Yeah, well, the Golden Order's not doing too hot themselves these days. And, that's fine. Can't believe I accidentally made Seteth. I'm enraged. Not literally. There's ways to change it later, but, like, and also I kind of like Seteth. Like, minus, okay. Obviously, minus the book burning. He's a really fun character. Hate that I have to even add that caveat. Flask of Crimson Tears. Flask of Cerulean Tears. Thing that I want. HUD display. Way too dark back here. Other thing that I want. Wait a second. How the heck do I get that one? I realized I don't remember how I actually got that. The Cave of Nale. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's... I mean, I remember tutorial. I also know a lot of people ran right past it, so at least they've got a notification. Greetings, do you give good advice? Honestly, yes, but still horrendously cryptic, so thank you, but, like, why? Okay, I still ain't got anything equipped. Let's jump in the hole. That sound good to y'all? Sounds good to me. We're doing it. Let's go, chat. Ground pit time. Ah, heck yeah, grace point. Yes, understood. I realize if I didn't want pop-ups, actually it's better, let's get all the pop-ups taken care of now in the tutorial, and then we will go from there. Let's see. Resting at the site of grace. Let's cross applesauce, I suppose. Tasks. Add charge. Yes, let's just do that now. Of course I don't. I still click it every time, just in case. Mem spell. Got it. Guess I've got them both in here now. Cool. Sort my chest. Well, I guess if I'm banned from online, well, I can still maybe write messages. Oh, whatever. Okay, dude, let's go. Horribly ominous, thank you. Not a good photogenic photo spot. Those are some nice stalactites, though. Like, my word. Just take a moment to appreciate those. Okay, and then let's move on. I assume that's the right button for that still. Friend or foe? Friend or foe? Friend or foe? Foe. Friend or foe? Thank you. Clearly the tip, dude. How's to work on your aim there? There's two of them now. Getting out of hand. Now there's two of them. Oh, really? Fine. Yeah, I think I figured that one out, but thanks. Great shot, dude. My turn. Wow, I also failed. Wow! Appallingly poor work on my part. I always forget about backstep. Also, that picture made it look so cool. Wow. Birds of a feather. Let's see if we can't parry something. Nope. At least I was able to figure out I whiffed it early. There we go. Yeah, it's when they start the attack swing, but everything's so much weird lead up and timing and stuff that I have not figured out. It's probably not worth figuring out for these little, like, little guys, because, like, you know, kind of. Friend or foe? Foe. Understood. I'm just gonna ignore you then. Goodbye. Plant. Must attain plant. Guess I'm being shot at right now, but it is the time for gardening and nothing else. I'm gonna get shot in the back. That's fine. Oh, he doesn't care. I feel like there's an ambush here. Yes, noted. Ah, I haven't got the kick. You gonna stab me or what? Oh wow, I whiffed that. My bad, dude. Wanna try it again? Here, I'll even close my eyes in real life. Open again though. Ow, fine, I cheated. Whatever, I won't close my eyes then. Wanna try that again? What do you do? Do you need to get your, like, daily steps in? Dude, we're both dead already. You don't need to track your pedometer. I'm gonna backstab you if you don't try to stab me again. Okay, fine. Fine. You got me. Just stab your shield anyway. Stab it again. Wow, I'm super rusty. This is about going on my part. Hit me! Hit me! Oh, fine. I guess I'll shield break you. Sorry, dude. And the question is, I guess this. It's actually fairly quick. Not quick enough for some of the boss fights, mind, but you know, quick. Wait, really? Am I not holding R? Did I misread that? Is that supposed to be B? Which would make sense. Alright, dude, I realized I didn't even acknowledge you. That was rude of me. Hi! Welcome! Or, this is good. Greetings! I'm breaking into your house. Hey, it's Archer Man! Archer Man, what have you been up to? It's been ages since I've seen you. I'm gonna stab you now. There we go. See, that kind of wind-up is actually very long, but it does make it possible for me to actually parry, which is nice. Spooky, spooky man? Okay, I have no idea what mine is, so let's do it. Nope, that was a parry. I guess that's a skill on my shield. I'll take it. It was a good parry. Crouching. I've also got another thing I can do that I kind of want to figure out. Stealth mode, maybe? Well, even my footsteps are quieter. Wow. Nevertheless, a terrible showing on my part. Friend! Okay, I'll admit. Spell doesn't last super long. But it's not bad. It got me past the stealth section, which is a mechanic they still don't utilize quite enough in the game. But it's nice. I love this because the first time I got here there were like 30 bloodstains in there. Again, it was day one, everyone was figuring out controls, there were players who'd never touched any of these games before. Oh right, this is where they teach you to jump attack at folks, which is new for everyone. But it has some downsides. I guess it helps if I hit the art trigger instead of the normal attack. That would have made that less bad. Well, anywho, are we ready to fight the toughest boss in the game? His name is Rick, or so I've been told. Rumors abound of his endless difficulty. Let's reset all of my stats ahead of our great battle. I should have just used my small heal. But that's fine. We're gonna keep on going. Oh, for anyone jumping in, by the way, I realize we're at the hour mark now. This is just a brand new Elden Ring playthrough. I am feeling exhausted today, so I don't have the energy to do actual art like we normally would. And so instead of that, we're going to play what is definitely not an exhausting game. Why would you think that? We're about to face the boss Soldier of God. His name is Rick. Unless I've been misled. Oh. Well. And for context, I've played a fair ways into this game already. Yes, so I do understand the mechanics. Hey, dude! I'm gonna try to parry this guy, though, even though I shouldn't. Come on, dude. Come at me, come at me. Yeah! Did I mention I'm in the tutorial, so the boss isn't the scariest thing in the world. Wow, dude, that wasn't even close. Jump attack! Admittedly, flexing on this boss is not really impressive, because in 2 minutes, he's just a normal game enemy. Like, you just see him everywhere. By the way, I won't be spoiling anything, so if you're worried about spoilers, don't worry. I'm keeping my lips sealed. I guess I should use my healy heals. I'm trying a new build I've never tried before, which is sort of like cleric assassin or cleric warrior type thing. It's not quite a paladin. It's more like evil stalks the knight, but not really a rogue paladin. I don't know. I'd say more. I can explain better, but that would be spoilers, and I literally just promised I wouldn't do that. So I won't do that. Simple as. However, we are now going to advance to out of the tutorial zone. How do I get that? I remember how I get that. Okay. Well, yeah, not anytime soon. We're going to open this door to the grand new world, and it's going to be a wondrous thing to see. It's a stone wall. In a catacomb full of dead things. Well, I mean, if that doesn't set the energy of this game, I don't know what will. But at least we got a grace point. These are basically little checkpoints. Refill your health, respawn all the enemies you killed, except for bosses, and occasional special enemies. Right, I can't level up until I do a certain thing. That won't happen for some time, so I actually need to be careful. Oh, by the way, pro tip, these statues, actually very cool. Very, very cool. They usually, like, you use stone sword keys or stone sword key. I prefer stone sword. You bring them to the stones. They move stonesward, sort of like northward or what have you. Or squidward if you're moving towards a squid. Well, I guess that one's taken already. But pro tip with those, if you're a beginner, don't use your first one here. This catacomb is cool and has cool things and is a real nightmare at early levels. There are other places where it will be of more benefit if you only have one. Oh right, co-op? I would love to use that. Except for the fact that the game has arbitrarily decided that something I did it didn't like. They use easy anti-cheat, which is a little sketch, and I don't know, maybe it doesn't like me streaming it? I honest to goodness have no idea. I turned it on today, like right before stream, and it was like, oh, by the way, like, dubious activity detected. You're banned from online mode for a while, or forever, it's unclear. So I'll have to figure that out. But as it stands, we're just going to pop on this elevator, which the anti-cheat has not prevented me from doing, and go through a slightly cooler door. Actually, first, I'm going to smash a pot. Look, I realize this is Zelda, but the tradition lives on. Also, they are still physics objects for as long as you're interacting with them, until they stop moving, and then as soon as you let it stop moving, and it sort of settles, I can't interact with it anymore, and I just walk through it. It's a good way to save on memory, a little bit jarring. And I do mean jar. Welcome to the real world of Elden Ring. And what a hecking phenomenal game it is. Everything you see here, all of it, you can and probably will go to. Good news. That means that castle you can go to. That weird tower in the distance you can go to. That tree. The cliff way behind the tree with stinking something on it. Bad news. That scary knight in the forest like 10 feet away. You can also go to that. He will kill you. It's not like he will probably kill you, he will kill you. I mean, maybe for like pro players, but like I don't think anyone on their first time ever playing a Souls-like game is going to fare well against that dude. Yes, thank you. We should actually, yeah, let's look at the map. We don't have any map pieces, but we've unveiled a little section here. Wow. The map is much bigger than it at first seems. And we've met our first NPC we can talk to. Excluding the one individual in the cutscene who just said some words at us that made no sense, and the ghost sitting on a chair that told us to jump in a pit if we want a tutorial. So let's have a chat with this fine fellow.
Oh, yes. Tarnished, are we? Come
Yes.
to the lands between for the Elden Ring? Hmm?
Well, I heard it was
Of
a good
course
game.
you have. No shame in it.
That's worrying.
Unfortunately for you, however, you are maidenless. Without guidance, without the strength of runes, and without an invitation to the Round Table Hold, you are fated, it seems, to die in obscurity.
Dude, you could have sugarcoated it a little.
Luckily for
Bit
you,
rude.
however, there is one.
For anyone who doesn't know, this is the
shining
infamous
ray of hope
maidenless
for
theme
even the
character.
maidenless. Me, Vare.
Oh, really?
Take care to listen.
Oh, even far the whole
Are
time.
you familiar with grace? The golden light
You mean that thing?
that gives life
Thing
to
right there?
you tarnished.
Like,
You
to
may
my right?
also behold its golden rays, pointing in a particular direction at
Directly
times.
towards that Death Knight?
That is the guidance of grace, a path that a
Like words
tarnished
guiding me.
must travel. Indeed. Grace's guidance holds the answers. It will lead
have
you
some minor
tarnished
objections.
to the path you are meant to follow, even if it leads you to your grave.
Okay, with that line, major objections. So you're telling me that I should follow this light that points me to my death, and it will probably lead to my grave. That's what you're saying?
Grace's guidance to Castle Stormvale.
Oh, good. It leads to the
Over
ruined
on
castle.
the
Midway.
home
Awesome.
of the decrepit demigod,
Awesome.
Godric the Grafted.
Cool. Thanks, Vare.
It's time to castles if you see.
Yep.
It's time to
Yep.
castles
Okay,
if
he's
you
repeating now. Cool. Goodbye. So, good news. I have beaten that guy on my other playthrough, and gotten quite a lot further. Bad news, I sure as heck didn't do it at level, what am I, 12? 10. No. No, there are people who can. I ain't one of them. Goodbye. So long, farewell, and thanks. Can meander a few different places. I would like to just sort of sneak around past him. Of course, we don't have to go that way. I realized Vare had his whole big speech, and we've got the giant glowing gold light telling us to go in that direction, and there's like the clear church and the clear vantage point. We could also just not do that. So I'm thinking, let's just go this way. For the record, this is what I did in my first playthrough too. I looked and was like, okay, Golden Knight. Remember him from the like playtester videos. Do not engage. And so I left. Also, there's like these cute squirrel rabbit things. They're adorable. I may have to stab one though. Sorry, dude. Ugh. Necessary. Not thrilled. So we have the option, instead of going towards that, we could go towards this ominous lake full of ruins. Or this empty, I mean, it's a beautiful beach, but it is also clearly like a death cliffside. But there's some cool stuff over there, which I happen to know I'd rather like to get to. Unfortunately, it is over there, and I am over here. And there's like weird death bat things that I don't really want to touch. And my only ranged attack isn't ranged, it's a healing spell. Okay, well that one had an item. Now I have to go get it. You can't stab a bald eagle and then not do anything with it. Like, you only hunt what you need. Okay. Hello, bat. There's, what, 3 of you? 4 of you. I've aggroed one of them. Last time, I'm pretty sure I just fought you with arrows. Oh, this is bad news. Well, that's one resolved. I think that one may have seen me, but I'm looting the eagle. Ha! You can't take my feathers from me. Okay. Eagle dealt with. Weird bad things, for the most part, ignored. Let's keep going. Ignoring all of the ominous hanging people. Yeah, we're gonna keep going. Goodbye, that. This is kind of a cool sigil on my cloak. I wonder what it's for. Why do I hear? Oh, there's more of them over there. Oh, and there's one hanging on that column. Tumbleweed. No more tumbleweed. I reckon I can jump down this cliff. That looks safe. Water, right? Water's always a safe landing. And water and a giant crab. Also, I realized, for anyone who didn't notice, I think I accidentally made blue-haired Seta. This was not my intention, and I have immediate regrets. Oh, there's so many bats. A ratty bat, What? What was that? How did that one not aggro on me? I, like, walked under him. Breaking this and taking this. Those give you souls, which are the, well, okay, runes, but they're the equivalent of Dark Souls is souls. And they let you do things like level up and buy things. Hey, wait, are those some of the bats way up in the sky? Oh, that's kind of cute. Or that's just a bird. Friend or foe? Friend or foe? It's foe. Let me log on at foe. That's how this game works. If you can log on to it, it hates you. I have a bad feeling about this. But that's how I feel about these games all the time. Ooh, look! Ruins with guys with torches. That looks safe. I'm just gonna go. Oh wait, I have a stealth spell, right? Maybe if I use that, I can just walk right past everyone. They won't notice a thing. I honest to goodness can't believe that actually worked. Man, the first time I came here I had to fight like 30 bats. Oop, I can hear my footsteps again. Stealth is worn off. Dude on a horse with a sword? Bad news. Don't want. This, however, is an item I do want. I don't remember why, but it's useful. Oh. More items. And person standing by fire. Killing your butterflies. They're mine now. Greetings!
Ah, you must be the new Tarnished. You do well to steer clear of a Gill Lake, fledgling. Dragon roosts there.
Mean that lake
and
right
it's
there?
as fearsome as it is majestic.
But
So,
I don't see a dragon.
unless you're mad, or wish to be burned alive, stay clear of the lake.
I mean, that's probably fair advice.
Don't be a fool. Turn back before it's too late. Don't be...
Okay, understood. Fine, I won't walk into the lake. I won't walk into the lake, dude. Got it. Instead of walking into the lake, let's go this way. I'm sure nothing dangerous is over here. Definitely not, like, freaking battle that I'm just not a part of. Here's the problem. Big Knight's stronger than Little Knights, but more Little Knights than Big Knights. How do I decide to help? Did you notice that? No, I don't think he did. You noticed that? Yeah, he noticed that one. Come on, little dude. I got you. Got you. No! Backstab him. Don't run circle. No, not me! Fine. Who is throwing things at me? Fine. Goodbye to you. Give me your Confion, I guess? You look strong. Ow. No, both of you. Goodbye. Fun fact, they're all hostile. They've just got their own thing. I've made myself everyone's problem. Nope. Nope. I'm actually just gonna see who wins that fight. Money on big dude. Little guy looks like one hit away. Oh, little guy's agile. Nope, okay. Hey dude. That was not a parry that I just did. That was a getting stabbed in the face while trying to parry. Big difference. Experts in the field can recognize the difference. There we go. That was a parry. Oh dear. It looks like they've finished up their business over there. Which means they've probably noticed that I'm here. Congrats on being the victor. Your reward is death. I hope. That might be my reward. This game is still very capable of killing me. Oh, okay, good. So a little thing about it being open world is that sometimes if you can take out a whole group of folks, or in this case they take each other out, and then they have just the most ridiculous ragdolls. Wow, wow. Just a mess. This whole thing's been a mess. But you get some of your like healing and mana potions back, basically. They replenish every time you sit at a grace, or when you beat a group of enemies. So let's keep going. Let's see what's up this inexplicable, broken bit of ruin in the middle of nowhere. Why is this here? Why is this here? Well, I won't question it. I realize I questioned it twice already, but I won't question it. I hear something. Sounds deadly. Wait a second. I think I remembered this place. In which case, I'm just gonna heal up for no reason in particular. No question. I should have used my heal spell. I keep forgetting I have a heal spell. Nice view, isn't it? Sure, it's drizzling rain. It's still pretty. Goats! There are goats. Little goat things. No, I'm gonna stab you and contain your thin beast bones, for reasons I'll explain someday, maybe. Okay, truthfully, I probably won't. Actually, I will right now. You can make arrows out of them. Oh, this place. So when you run across one of these, you can step in it, and it's like a little alternate dimension jail that someone's been put in, and you can fight them. I'm going to choose not to do that at level 10, which is the starting level for this character, because I can't level up, and I kind of have a number of runes now, and I don't know what to do with them. I feel like what to do with them is figure out how to get to that bridge. Hey, there's a grace point over there. Okay. I'll admit I know about that grace point, but it is cool that you can see it from here. Oh no. Nope. Let's find a slightly less terrible place to jump off from, maybe. There's a windy jump space here? Interesting. I can't use that yet. Like at all. That's interesting to know. Oh, there's a little enemy down there. Hi, little enemy. Nice jumps. Ooh, 2 little enemies. Hello. Oh, wait. You can emote in this. Hello. Oh my word, the voice. I picked the voice because one of the screams sounded exactly like Link when he dies.
Hey!
This one's not quite as Link-like as the other one. I'm mildly disappointed, but oh well. Still good. Okay, I want to get there. How? Eagle, stab. Thank you. Nope, don't chase the eagle off the cliff. I apologize for stabbing all of the animals. You have to do it a lot early game, but then late game you don't. Roll through the skull. Roll through the skull, you get money. Just science. It just works. Where am I? Oh, I'm above the bridge. Anything useful in there? Well, they have a ballista. That's probably bad. How do I get down? I feel like that's a bad jump. Oh good, a bunch of definitely not ominous gravestones wedged into the side of a cliff. That's a good sign, right? Right? Oh, it's closer to the ground than I was. There's a dude. Oh, I hope that thing didn't see me. Those are the worst. Keep jumping at my own sounds. Okay. He turned around, I'm gonna jump down. Hello, bridge! How do you feel about a little bit of a crossing? Oh good, there's one of these statues. That means that if I die, I can respawn here instead of at Grace, which I haven't seen one of those in a while, so that's good. Of course, not perfect. Greetings, bridge guards. May I pass? That is not a yes. That is a resounding no. Okay. Note to self. Find cover. I have died. That went shockingly badly. Okay, yes, we'll respawn at the Stake of America. And let's maybe try a slightly different approach. Apparently walking up and asking politely if you can pay the toll and cross, goes over poorly. Yes, thank you. Where did I die? It was like within aggro range, probably. That's fine. It's like hiding in these bushes. I can see it. Okay, so I picked up my stuff from the last time I died. Let's not do that. Let's go over here and take a different approach to bridge. Yo, bridge. Yo, my dude, on the bridge. Friend, I'd like to pay the toll, please. Oh, that's bad. I am trying to provide commerce to your country. Well, that's probably bad. Oh. Okay. We're going to try that again with the other guard. Maybe he'll be more amenable. Taxes. Normally the people collecting taxes aren't the ones who get mad. Look, I realize I broke your wagon, but if you just let me pay you taxes, you can fix it. Well, if you're gonna stab me, then I'm gonna have to return this. Come on. Really. Basic economics. That's a knife, man. That's not how taxes work. I want to pay you taxes. Yes or no? Taxes? Yes or no? Taxes! That broke the barricade. Okay. Plan B. Plan B. Hide behind their giant bridge columns. This has not gone well either. I have no ranged attacks. Okay. You think they remember that I'm here? Ah, they do! They definitely do. I love how you can see the guy holding the ballista like turn to look at you. Like a half second before he fires it. Okay, so I know blocking, if I don't block it just kills me, I'm pretty sure. If I do block, it guard breaks me and leaves me at like 2 HP. There's like 4 knights on the bridge. Maybe if I use stealth. No way that this can go wrong. And then I just charge. Ow! Plan immediately failed. So, don't know how this game has the reputation of being, well, the whole series has a reputation of being ever so slightly difficult. Yeah, it lives up to it. I'm leaving. Goodbye. I cannot fathom any way I can get across that bridge. Full stop. At least I can rolly scully. Yeah, give me money. Let's see what's up here instead. Are you friendlier than the bridge people? Am I supposed to pay taxes to you instead? I think the skulls are paying me taxes. They seem confused. Or is that why they're mad? Am I stealing their tax? Like, is that how they collect taxes? You're supposed to leave them in the nearest skull and then they come and retrieve them? Maybe that's why they're angry. Ooh, that's pretty. I want to go there. Maybe can I just go there? Or is this like a sheer cliff that I will fall hundreds of feet to my death into the ocean? Ne'er to be seen again. It's not, but there's wolves. And there's still no grace anywhere. Well, This complicates things. Gotten myself into something of a pickle. Wolves? Friend or foe? Your foe. I know your foe. I know I swung first, but I've met you before, in another life. I know this sounds crazy, but we've met before. I stabbed you. But you did try to bite me, so it's fair. Right? Oh, come on! I got outplayed by... Where's the third one? Is it flanking me? Stamina and my health. Okay, that's one of them down. I'm at two of them. Where's the third? Where's the third? I know they look like friendly puppy dogs, but they're trying to bite my face. They hurt when they do that. Okay. Wow, right now my urgent heal does not... That's okay. It's still better than not having it. Okay. Wolves! Defeated. Another triumph in the adventures of... What did I name this character? Starfstutchins. Great. The bards shall sing the name for aeons to come. There's more wolves, aren't there? On those rocks, there's more wolves. Oh, and over there too. Maybe I should just walk around them. That worked really well with those other guys. We're just exploring, y'all, you know? We're just finding all the places we need to be going. That was the wrong button. I wasted a heal. Okay, we've got our sneaky boot spell on, so I'm just gonna go over here and hope the wolves don't notice. I'm also stealing that flower. I don't think the wolves notice. Oh, there's so many wolves. Oh! Horrible Eldritch Abomination chilling on the beach. You know what? I do not feel like interrupting his beach date. Why are there more wolves? Why are there so many wolves? Let's go to the castle. Maybe they... Sorry, Puppin. Maybe they have like a... Like, you know... a grace or a bathroom or someplace I can check in and stay for the night. You know, if this was Arthurian England, I'm sure I could go up there and ask, like, hey... Like, do you have a room? We've been traveling all day. Very rude tax collectors who were terrible at their job tried to shoot me off a bridge. I'm sure they'll be understanding of that, right? Ooh, man in a ghost chair. Yes, please. Ghost chair man, I wish to speak to thee. What is your word? What saith thee? Demi-humans are furious now that their mother's been taken. I assume those are the demi-humans. Lord Kenneth is missing. Is that their mother? The knight bedeviled by blood. Is that Lord Kenneth? Does he live there? Okay, okay, understood, understood. I'll go have a word with him. And we'll see if we can make some arrangements. Where on earth am I, by the way? Oh, good. So our map has updated a little bit. We've got where we started. This is where we can respawn. And then we have met Europe. We found that little jail. We got shot off a bridge, and now we're way over here. I'm very lost. Someone please come get me. Uber? Can you Uber here? Ooh! Ooh! Hey! 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 See the little glowies? Yes! Grace point. Okay, checkpoint, checkpoint. Yes, please! Okay. Good. Now if we die, we'll show back up here instead of on the other sneaking end of the world. Now let's go have a word with this Lord Kenneth fellow. See if he can provide some warmth and hospitality, although having a grace point right outside of his house is very kind. Let's see. Okay, barricades, understandable. Really? He has a ballista too? Ballista was thinking terrible aim. Okay, there, it hit something finally. Oh, probably bad that it hit something, actually. Oh, now it's mad. This one's trying to stab me. Dude, there's a castle shooting at you. Why are you trying to stab me? Rude. Sir, hate to— no, I'm here to help you. But shouting at the castle doesn't work. Don't go home. Come on, you can do it. Don't just shout at the castle. Don't get mad at me. You got this, man. You got this. Oh! See, look what you made me do. Now I have to face the stinking ballista. This is bad. I can't even shield block one volley of this. Can I roll through it? Not with that timing. Okay, I guess I can shield block it. It's just uses all my stamina to do that. What's that sound? Is that my own feet? It's my own feet. Can I find a different route with cover? Can you shoot me here? Ah ha ha ha! Oh, there's knights. Are any of you fellows by chance Lord Kenneth? I have a message for him from the ghost out front. The message is, are you the mother of the demi-humans, or did you kill the mother of the demi-humans? Are you the Blood Knight? Is this your house? I apologize, he seemed very confused, and I'll admit I was as well. Ouch! Apparently it figured out how to shoot me. Fine, fine. Very well, very well. What is the best approach to this situation? I think an expeditious retreat. Fare ye well, Lord Kenneth. I have passed on my message. Hopefully one of your men heard it. Hey! Fine. We'll see if we can't go around the other way. Excuse me, good sirs, do you by chance have a back entrance through which we can enter? No, but a lovely view of the ocean, I must say. A very big tree. And a positively noble-looking bird admiring these grand clouds. We must screenshot that. Because I ought to try to get a view of my face. Oh my word. I feel like some minor mistakes have been made somewhere in this process. But no matter. Suppose at least we have a thumbnail, as it were. It does not appear that I can enter through this side. Lord Kenneth Height, your message must— I mean, I don't know your last name. I've definitely not played this quest before. Anyway, your message, I fear, I had to leave it on a voicemail. Let me actually go let Mr. Ghost know. It would be rude not to inform him. I did leave a voicemail with them. They seemed very aggressive about keeping an inbox 0, however. As they attempted to shoot me to clear it out. So, I'm not entirely sure they've read it, truth be told. Where'd he go? Monsieur Ghost. There goes. There goes. Yes, anyway. Yes. I left your message on their answering machine. It was very sharp and angry. I hope that works. Good day. What on earth was that over there? It's more wolves. Okay, nope, no thank you. Greetings, friends! Do you charge taxes? Uh-oh. Yes, hello. Taxes. I come offering taxes. Why does no one want my taxes? Why are there so many of you? Why is that one really big? Taxes? Like terrible tax collectors. There's one behind me, I can see it. You're already entered. Open fire. Not you. Okay. I don't think I want to deal with the big one. I think two of them got distracted. Big one's over there. Ghost Man, I do apologize. Okay, he doesn't seem to. That's probably bad. Oh, good. Status effect. That's what we wanted. I wonder if I can parry this. Not if I do that! Holy cow, the lead up on that is stinking wild. But I'm a heck of a lot faster. Thank you for the glowy rocks. But again, I was attempting to offer taxes. You don't need to pay them to me. I am not a legal entity. I'm not incorporated. I am not a lord. Will you accept my taxes? Someone please accept my taxes. No! Stop trying to stab me. Will you accept my taxes? Is that a no? Got it. That's a no. Very well, very well. Well, there's a glowy thing over here. Let's see what it has to tell us. Excuse me, is this the tax office? Well, it's a fellow businessman. Excellent, excellent. Perhaps they can inform me how the IRS of this land works.
Welcome, dear customer.
Lovely,
Yes,
lovely, lovely.
right this way. Right this way.
See a welcoming storefront. You understand how to partake of business.
Welcome, valued customer. Come, trade in our wandering emporium.
See, now
Please,
this is customer service.
buy something. I'm hungry. I've been hungry so long.
That might be oversharing,
Please?
sir. Do they not give you a good lunch break? Well, I'll see what your wares are. I've got to say, this is a little bit of a more ominous store than I thought. But that's fine. That's fine. At least there is business booming in the land as of yet. Craft things with this. And with that. I'm not sure I want to craft those things. I can purchase an axe. Different shield. That looks very similar to my own. A different shield, which is pretty, I'll admit. It's a sword tree. This one's the air tree. We'll learn what that is at some point, I'm sure. St. Trina's arrows. Interesting. More normal arrows. That's actually useful to have. Trina's lily. Now, out of game, I will say that this particular flower, there are a finite number of them in the world, but that finite number is still very large. Or smithing stuff. Ooh, actually. But this, with these, I would be able to start leveling up my weapons should I ever figure out where the heck to do that. I'm gonna buy your whole stock, good sir. Thank you for the business. I don't think I want that though. Yeah, a good shield is always a good thing to have. A few arrows have never gone wrong. There we go, we'll spend all our souls. Or runes, rather.
Ah, how nice of you, Lise.
I fear I don't have anything else to purchase at this time, good sir. But thank you for doing business. Do you by chance know where the IRS is? Oh, very well, very well. I shall continue on my way. That's not the IRS, that's a bear. Well, maybe it knows where they are. Excuse me, bear, where do you pay your taxes? That's not an answer. Whoa, you are a stand-up citizen, I see. Whoa! Good sir, good sir. Why are you so mad at the thought of taxes? I'm not here to collect, but are you perhaps fearing an audit? Have you been getting into some dubious... Yes, I understand you're an upstanding citizen. Fine, very well. Did not gain any useful knowledge from that. He barely told me anything. That said, I still don't know where to go to pay tax. I'm just back here again. Quite the view, though. Be a good desktop background if I wasn't in the shot. Ooh, a castle over there. I'm sure that it's lovely and not at all horrible. I say, knowing full well, having been there, that anything on the top of that cliff is a living nightmare. We'll go there at some point. It'll be fun. I'm sorry, Bear. What is whistling at me? Is that deer? Do deer whistle? Do fantasy deer? Do real deer whistle? I have a number of questions, which I don't think that that's going to answer. I mean, they might. Let's see. There was a big tree over here somewhere. Let's go have a visit to it. It's not the big tree, mind. Ooh, free things. See, I know what to do with those. I would feed those to my horse if I had one. But no matter. For all will be resolved in due time. Meanwhile, I shall continue to clamber my way up the rocks. I will say, jumping was a lovely addition to this game. The old way of jumping in these games was a living nightmare. You'd have to run, and then, well, in Dark Souls 1 you'd run, which you do by holding down the B button, and then you jump by pressing the B button while running. Do you see what the problem with that might be? It's terrible. I mean, don't get me wrong, I greatly enjoy that game, but holy cow, so bad in terms of hopping and jumping and any sort of hardcore challenges, of which there were mercifully few. People do not remember Sen's Fortress fondly, and there was a reason for that. Okay. Ooh, Money Skull. You know, honestly, they made a movie called Money Plane, and it looked phenomenally stupid. Maybe Money Skull is the next big thing. I don't know. Glowy Bug. Give me things. Oh, it just replenished. When it's red, it just replenishes my glasses. Well, that's useful. Taking a sunflower. You'll notice I just absentmindedly grab, like, every plant in my path. I'm sorry, it's just a reflex at this point. Ooh, shiny thing under the tree. By the way, we're at the big tree. Not the big tree. The big tree. Crystal Tear. Well, that's not ominous. I'm just gonna keep going this way. That bear's horrifying. I hate... There's a thing in this game called rune bears. They're the bane of my existence. Oops, I started two-handing my shield. Something whistled at me. Oh, it's just that dude running away, I think. That's fine. I can teleport all you want. I will say, in order to avoid spoilers of a sizable magnitude, I'm not going down this well. Look at this deer. You're just chilling, my dude. Oh, it ran. I was trying to get nature photography. Nice. Okay. But if you want to see some stuff that's very cool and you're playing this game, find your way here. I'm not opening the map. I'm not going to be helpful on that. I don't want to spoil anything. But this place, it big, it have door. It has like 8 or 10 or 12 sides, and I found all the wrong ones. Door. Go indoor. Step on button. For good time. It's very cool. Much wow. A lot of pizzazz. That's a boar. Friend or foe? Friend. Okay. I leave thee alone. Half the time they try to maul you. Which, in all fairness, is probably still better odds than actual boars. Don't mess with boars. They're not friendly. Fence post. Smash the fence post, smash the fence post. Yeah! Ooh, another boar. Hey, boar. Friend or foe? Friend. Okay, I leave. That's a giant crab. I'm going to not say hello to the giant crab, because they spit death and have big claws. I'm instead going to wander over to where the heck am I? Oh, this is the infamous cliffside. Okay, so fun little trivia tidbit. That little ledge with the trees on it, like the lower one, so like this one. That my character, the one in my head. What's behind It's fine. That little one with the trees is actually the outlet of at the end of a very long dungeon and has some good items on it. Second fun fact. Normally, you cannot jump from that ledge up there to this little one without dying by plummeting to your death. However, if you manage to ride the horse, which I don't have, and I'd rather fight that, that's a fun dungeon actually, it's one I'd rather just do properly at some point, much later on. And the thing at the end isn't necessarily helpful for my build anyway, but regardless, if you manage to jump from the upper cliff, not the upper cliff, mind, that'll kill you no matter what you think, but the middle upper cliff, sort of right where my head's at, this one, no, that one. If you manage to jump there and like slide across the cliff face while like bumping into the geometry weirdly, you can occasionally land there. The result of this is, because this game leaves bloodstains everywhere you died, the entire top of that cliff is covered in red, and it's really ridiculous because it's not supposed to be that dangerous. Ooh, roll over there. We'll go say hi in a minute. Great! At the Third Church of America. Where's 1 and 2 and potentially 4 plus happen to me. We're gonna rest here. That's a pretty place. I'm gonna steal all the things. Oh right, the Flask of Wonder is missing. That's actually a really useful item. I'm not going to dig into it now for spoiler reasons. Maybe in a little bit we'll jump into it. But yeah, no, check it out. It's not actually a story spoiler. None of the story in this game makes nearly enough sense for there to be like clear story spoilers from picking up or doing anything. You could watch an entire playthrough of this game and not have the faintest idea what was going on. Which is part of the fun. Actually understanding this game is a little bit like doing archaeology. You really do have to puzzle everything out. Hey dude, wanna fight? Because I inexplicably do, even though it's a terrible idea. You have a giant sword impaled in you. Or, yeah, whatever you expect. I do very little damage. You seem mad. You seem very mad. Really use jump attack to try to stamina break. Ah! The opportunity presents itself, which the super didn't. I don't step on it. Rude. I seriously stabbed you in the ankle repeatedly. Got greedy. Got greedy. Don't. I don't like what that is. I need to heal, please. Kindly, why are you taking the sword out of you? Okay, he smashed a tree. Oh, I forgot to ask. Do you know where the tax collector is? Please point out the IRS. Double tap. It hurts. Dead yet. Could be dead any second now. Talking to horse about myself. Jumping? You're jumping! That wasn't much fun. Ah, well. Fair is fair. I'll leave him alone. He's fine. Here, let's set the time today. Rest until morning. Oh, it was basically morning. Oh well. Shall we have another go? I can't promise it will go any better. Oh, see, he's waiting for me. Oh, don't you turn your back on me like that now. Okay, I thought we're grabbing. Fine. Oh, he noticed. Curious to see how much I could get away with before he noticed. The answer, a little bit. I'm out of stamina, that's bad. Gotta watch my green stamina bar up there. No, don't get out the sword, you get way scarier. Point in case. Wow. That was a horrible fall on my part. Ouch. Jump and... Appreciate your offer, but I'm not interested in... That one missed? Oh well. Oh! He reacted quick to that. Are you going for that? Okay. Understood. Understood. Give me my shield back. Oh. Let me swap the shield, please, man. I hate that attack. Dragonfly here too? Oh, I didn't even kill it. Dragonfly is actually probably a bigger problem. That's a giant... Dragonfly might stab me on the same moment and enable it to happen. It also means I've wandered too close to that swamp over there, which is bad. Okay. I don't really have time for a jumping attack on the focus. It's obnoxious. And it makes my lock-on go stupid. So there's two dragonflies. Oh, he's coming back for the second one. Third swipe. And... Probably shouldn't be doing this fight yet. Why are there so many? Okay, coming back. Still going. The dragonfly punched me, dagnabbit. And then the giant punched me harder. Okay, note to self, stay away from the swamp. The dragonflies are terrible. Okay. Admittedly, I'm still very tired, so this may not be the right time to try this fight, but now I kind of want to keep at it, you know? So we're going to keep going. This will be our grand finale. If you won't tell me where I am supposed to pay my taxes, then so help me, I'm going to keep on going after which way is he? Oh, right. I guess one thing I can do. So real quick, again, no spoilers, we did pick up this wondrous physic, which is basically like sort of a DIY flask. We can pop two of these things in there and it gives us some bonuses. So I'm going to go ahead and just throw one that does a little healing and one that does a little stamina boost. Y'all may remember I picked them up at the tree a minute ago. They're the tears. we're just gonna do that, and then I'm gonna throw that into my... Oh, it's already in my equipment. Cool. So I've got one of those. I can chug it when the occasion requires it. We could put this on, but like we would lose the style. And these games aren't called Fashion Souls for nothing. They're called Fashion Souls because all of the players make terrible decisions. Myself very much included. Okay, the runes we lost, I realize this is Elden Ring, but like, it's so clearly still part of the Souls everything. Oh man, that actually was way worse start than last time. Okay, but he was screaming at us, so I was able to punch him a few times. And then that, I don't want that. Tell me where I'm supposed to send my text. And this can all be over. Stay away from the swamp. Oh, really? He's pulling out the sword already? Let's at least get him to half health so that that's fair at all. His moveset changes when he does that, and he's way worse. Way more responsive and way fresher. I don't like that. Please keep your sword away from me. I thought I had my shield up there. I haven't used my protection. And yeah. For the record, this is probably not the first one of these guys who's supposed to fight either. I've gotten ever so slightly lost, I'll admit. Watch my stamina. I hate that attack because even when my shield's up, it still hits me and it hurts like crazy. Where are you going with that? Nope. Down smash. Nope. Also, I don't like that attack. Why are you doing it? Just asking you for tax advice. Can't take me to a tax advisor or like to the IRS line. This point you can just turbo tax right in our block or something. Not sponsored, by the way. I think that's probably obvious, but I still felt the need to say it. I'm gonna heal anyway. Read heal. Mistake. Always a mistake. Oh, that's the attack that can like just kill me instantly. No. No. That was... Nothing, no tax advice at all. That is so uncool. Fine, whatever. That's a pretty great view too. I'd say selfie time, but I don't remember. I think there's actually a thing you can do with a bow, like if you're holding a bow at a certain angle where it literally makes you look like you're taking a selfie and everything, which is ridiculous, but also quite funny in my mind. But I don't have a bow. Could have been oversight on my part. So, funny thing about that, that's not a boss, not a mini-boss, it's just an overworld dude. He's just kind of there. So, you know, just a normal enemy, like slightly stronger, so he respawns. Worth it though, totally worth it. That said, where the heck am I? This is not the intended route. You start here. Apparently, in my mind, you start here, and then you wander your way around the entire stinking continent. So you know what I think that means? Correct direction would be to return back through that doorway. So we're gonna hang our left. Well, I was right when I was staring at that door. We're just gonna go this way. Let's see what we find, you know? I realize we're sort of at time on stream, but we'll go a little longer. Because there's something rather significant that is a good stopping point if I can just find another grace. I think, if memory serves, I just need to walk across the swamp full of horrible mosquitoes that, like, bit me earlier. Past that turtle, I mean dog. and not into that ravine to the left because it's full of death. Like, so much death. I can't even begin to describe the amount of death in it. Instead, I'm just going to follow the road up to the right. And hope that my memory didn't assume that I had a horse so that I could just jump up that. Wait! You're a thing! Give me your thing! No! Give thing! Thank you. Secret blade. That actually sounds like something that would work well with my build, too. Interesting. Ah, stinking mosquitoes! Just leave me alone. It's gonna bite me now. Lock onto it. Yes, but I... Thank you. Very helpful. I'll do that just as soon as I have a horse. The mosquito's mad at me, so I'm getting the danger music. There's also wolves. Oh, there's wolves. No! You're actually slightly less scary than the previous wolf, but there's so many of you. That's probably bad. Can I just not aggro them? Or did he wake up? I'm inclined to just try to stealth my way through here again. By wolves? By wolves. Where the heck am I? I'm on a random cliffside somewhere. Well, let's, oh, jeepers, there's wolves here. Okay, I gotta deal with these wolves, they're too loud. No howling and alerting the others. So many wolves. Why are the angry doggos here? Why is there more wolf? I did not sign up for wolf. I signed up for not die by wolf. Specifically, that was the seminar course I chose. Okay, there's a lot of wolves over there. I think I'm just going to take a different route. Oh, the rain let up. So find another way. Venture ourselves for... There's so many doggos. They're not good boys. They bite. Little doggos. Okay, so apparently if you don't want to fight dogs, this game is, in fact, quite the stealth game. That one totally sees me, doesn't it? Nope, okay, cool. I don't like what I'm seeing up there, though. That's a bad sign for my continued survival. Given how well the last one went, and given that this one's further up the cliff and thus probably harder, and then it's just standing there waiting. I doubt I can fight it. Maybe I can sneak it. Possibly. I can run past it if all else fails. Hide in the bushes. That is an actual game mechanic. Oh, they really want you to go right past them, don't they? Just auto aggro if I get too close. Yep, he noticed. Goodbye, sir. I will be taking my leave. Do you think he's angry? He didn't sound angry, but he looked a little angry. He's angry! Where is he? Ah! Apparently you're quicker than you look. I'm gonna try to run again, though. That didn't work. That instantly failed. I have never had a plan fail faster than that. I'm gonna try to sink shelter in this church, then. Maybe it doesn't like the rocks? Do you not like the rocks? Okay. He has ceased noticing me. This is good. This is a good thing. Let me up the rocks, please. This place doesn't look horrible. I'm sure nothing bad happens here. Hey, there's good here. Okay. Huzzah! This is a good place to be. feel like I shouldn't be here yet. Oh well. Free stuff. They charge me taxes on it if you left it lying on the ground. That's the law. Got myself a station wagon that way. This is untrue. I did not, in fact, steal a station wagon. I do not possess a station wagon. Or have I ever. Okay. So I'll be honest. The tone of the game has shifted somewhat. I feel like maybe this isn't where we're supposed to be. Good sounds. Good sounds. Those are good sounds. Where am I? Why am I here? Okay, well, honestly, I thought that sitting at that fire would trigger something. But I'm so horribly lost that it didn't. Oh, good, and I went right past one of those things that actually gives you a map section, but I still have no map. Well, no matter. Good thing is, I don't think we've spoiled squat, because this isn't even slightly an intended route. It's just death. This region is just death. Everything here is death. I did manage to run past that troll, though. But in my books, today was a win. I know well enough to leave that particular ruined village alone for the time being, which I shall do so. Now, how's about this? How about... I probably still can't get across this bridge. The Bridge of Sacrifice. See? They're supposed to be tax collectors. You're supposed to sacrifice to get there. Why did they just shoot me with a ballista? Well, regardless. Let's actually go back to where we started. The lovely Vare, who was so encouraging, can I just say. Great advice. Very friendly individual. Definitely not horrible. And of course, the ever lovely Tree Sentinel? Forest Sentinel? That dude stabs like a lot.
It's time you set Castle Stormvale
Yes,
on the cliff,
I did set up.
where Grace
Got
would
lost.
guide you. If
Yes, well. I realize the Grace is supposed to guide me, and I realize the Grace is basically a giant stinking arrow pointing at that ruined church there. There's a scary golden guy there, so instead I went that way. And then that way. Then I think we walked to that tree over there, and then we kept going. And then the world turned red and scary. Do you know what that's about? Like, if you do, please tell me. Please? Oh, no, not that. Sorry, I'm pointing the wrong way. What that? You know what that's about? Please explain it. Bar? Ah, fine. So I'll go this way. We'll go have a word. So I've got a very special place that I need to take everyone here in chat. We're gonna go visit Santa Claus. I ain't the first person to make that joke, and I will not be the last. And assuming I don't die en route, which is extremely likely, I might add, we're gonna have a good time. Please don't let the scary night notice me. Please don't let the scary night notice me. Please don't let the scary night notice me. Okay. Good place, good place. For the record, this is where we're supposed to go. See, it even has the tutorial for them here. But we've already found like 3 of these in super the wrong direction. So that's fine. Why did the screen go extra dark? Oh, now she shows up. What, you didn't want to visit Caelid? Fine, fine, fine. Yes, hello. Realize her outfit's not
Greetings,
different from my own.
traveler from beyond the fog. I am Melina.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
I offer you an accord.
Well, it's not really my kind of car,
Have
but
you
if you're just
heard
gonna
of
give
the Finger Maidens?
uh,
They serve the Two Fingers, offering guidance and aid
yes,
to the tarnished.
pretty sure I saw a dead one already. That's a bad sign,
But
right?
you, I am afraid, are maidenless.
Yeah, as Var was so kind to point out. Alright.
I can play the role of maiden,
You, sure you want to do that?
turning runes into strength to aid you in your search for the Elden Ring. You need only take me with you to the foot of the Erd Tree.
The giant glowing one in the distance? I mean, sure, you already offered me a car. I was gonna say yes anyway.
Then it's settled. Summon me by grace to turn runes into strength.
Will do.
Ah, another matter.
You mean Santa Claus over
I
there?
bequeath to you this ring.
Oh. Hey! And now, my friends, we have a horse.
Use it to traverse great distances. It will summon a spectral steed named Torrent. Torrent has chosen you. Treat him with respect.
That's very kind of him. I will try not to run him into a tree. Just a heads up to everyone,
Shall I
I'm
turn
definitely
your
gonna run him
runes
into a
to
tree.
strength?
Not on purpose, but it's
Let
gonna
my
happen.
hand rest upon you. For but a moment, share them with me.
Ah, yes. Handshakes
thoughts.
give you the power to level up.
Your ambitions. The
What
principles
should we
you would
get
follow.
more of? This is actually not a bad stat spread, so this is stupid, but I may put it in Arcane. Now, I realize these stat names don't clarify what anything is. Arcane is not really magic except for some weird edge case builds. What it is, however, is your luck with item drops, amongst a bunch of other weird odds and ends. So I do kind of want to upgrade that early, because I played a character with bad Arcane for a while in the past, and then I upgraded it like one level and was like, oh, is this how everyone else has been experiencing the game? Because I was not getting what I needed. Well, honestly, I think this is probably a good scene for us to wrap up on. It's a little past 10. We found Santa. We'll have a word with him next time we play Elden Ring, which is not... This is definitely a backup game, not one that I'm just going to sort of do a whole series through. But do check in periodically. We'll stream it when we can, and of course all the VODs are up on Sif Stream's YouTube channel. Link, I think, in the description, or at least the link to all my links is in the description, so one way or the other you'll find it. By description, I of course mean the channel area below it. You guys know what I mean, I'm sure. So yeah, we'll keep these going. We'll get the first of these up and ready, and yeah, I think we'll leave it at that. So thanks everyone for coming out. It has been a blast. I don't think we've got any raids tonight, so I'm just gonna let y'all go off wherever you'd like to go. And with that, I'm gonna head out. It's been a pleasure, y'all. Have a good one.